Welcome to the Paper Snob. This is Tara. Today I'm working on Mad About Mini paper pads, and I decided it was time to bust out my Cocoa Vanilla Happy Days collection. I've pulled out some of the embellishments and then the stack of 6x8 pattern papers, and I have this sweet little photo of my oldest daughter, Courtney. This was taken in March of 2000. I have actually scrapbooked some of the photos from this, but anyway, I thought I would scrapbook this one to put in her baby album, which I have yet to complete. So I figured it would be a good addition for that. So that is what I'm working with. I've got all of this fun stuff to play with here. And what this hop is about is using up your mini paper pads. And I have a ton of them, just like everybody else. I really try not to buy anymore, but I do get sucked in, especially with Cocoa Vanilla, because a lot of times their smaller pack of paper has papers that the 12x12 pack does not. And well, you know, all about FOMO here, so can't miss out on that. Regardless, I need to start using them up a little bit faster, so I'm going to go ahead and pause. I'm going to grab a sheet of 12x12 white cardstock to play with, and we're going to get started. I'll be right back. All right, I want to add some color to this white cardstock. This is a Prima spray. I don't know if they make these anymore. And honestly, I discovered while I was trying to get this taken care of that I hadn't even used this one. So the sprayer is still good because it's never been opened, which is super duper awesome. Now, I did not use water this time. And the reason for that is I wanted this full saturation of color here. It is a beautiful color. It's called Black Tulip, and it matches this Happy Days collection absolutely perfectly. And so all I did there was just use the packaging technique minus the water that I would normally add. Now this is a Mr. Huey's navy blue ink, and I'm going to use my handy dandy little stick, and I'm going to put some splatters on here. Now because my Black Tulip spray ink is still wet, this is going to kind of smear and meld into one another, and I really like the look once it dries. So I'm going to use this teal floral piece here, and I'm going to put it roughly in the center of this cardstock. Now I discovered that this wasn't 6x8 paper. It is like 5 3/4 of an inch by not quite 8, or a little over 8 actually, because the little piece that you saw me cut was 3 3/4. So it's not quite a 6x8 paper piece. I'm going to take the striped piece, you see my little helper there, and I'm going to cut 4 1/2-inch strips, and I'm going to put those on the top and bottom of my background. Let me move Kitty out of the way. He thinks he has to sit there. I'm not sure why he thinks that that is something that he needs to do. All right, so I've lined up my background, and now I'm going to fix my ATG gun. Anybody else have this happen once in a while? This is something that really aggravates me. It just randomly folds up like that. It's annoying. Anyway, I left that in there so you could see that sometimes I struggle with my ATG gun as well. It is my favorite adhesive, so I still use it all the time, but you know, like anything else, it has some negative things to it like that. I don't know why it does that. So I'm going to trim off the edges, and I will save the little pieces of 1/2 inch that are left over. I will use them probably on another layout at another time, but I did save them, and they went back into the collection when I put everything away. And you should be very proud. I did put everything away. I'm really trying to keep my space as clean as I possibly can. Still have a few hot spots from moving that I need to work on, but right now I'm just busy trying to keep caught up with all of the hops that I have signed up for. And here is where you get to watch me make a huge mistake. I am trying to measure this frame so that I can trim this photo. And do you know what I do? I almost cut my daughter's head off in the photo. I was so aggravated with this, but I left it in because in the end you see me use the photo anyway. I doubt that I have another one of those photos. So I'm going to fix this photo. I didn't quite cut all the way through. I'm going to stick some washi tape right there in the middle, and then I'm going to actually go ahead and cut down the way that I intended. I have to do this a couple of times because my brain wasn't working properly and I wasn't getting it measured correctly. I don't know what was going on with my brain. Anyway, so I get it on here and I keep trimming off little pieces until I get the size that I want. And at this point, I am just kind of guessing as I go. And Phineas has joined me yet again. Back to the floor he goes. Now, I'm going to go ahead and glue this frame on. And I'm going to put my wet glue on the back of it, and I'm just going to lay it on the top. As you saw, when I picked up that photo, it does move quite a bit, the flap, but the washi will hold it into place as I get the frame on, and then I'm going to put an actual mat around it. That's what that scrap of navy blue is for, because we can also use scraps in this hop, and I have no idea how long I've had this scrap of navy blue, but I tend to keep scraps this size because they're great for matting small photos or even running through with a border punch or something. So I'm going to go ahead and trim this down, and I'm going to have a double matted photo, once with the frame and then once with the navy blue cardstock. And of course, I'm just guessing again and trying to get it as close to being the same width all the way around. I know there are tools that you can use for that, but honestly, I probably wouldn't anyway because I'm lazy like that. Anyway, so got that done, and I know that I'm going to put it about right there, and so now I'm going to start building this layout. I pulled out some of the ephemera from the ephemera packs. I had 2 ephemera packs at the beginning of the video, the floral bits, and then the one that has all the other stuff. It's where the frame came from. It's where the butterflies and stuff are. I also pulled out this little phrase banner, and I'm going to use that there on the photo. It does help cover up my boo-boo a little bit, so that's okay. And I pulled a sun and a cloud out that I also want to get used. I think I pulled out 4 or 5 butterflies. I only end up using 3. I love this little tassel border. It fits perfectly underneath that photo, so that is going to end up there. And I used one of the title pieces. It says beautiful, and I'm just playing with it right now. I'm just kind of getting a feel of where and how big it needs to be so that I know how much space I have to work for my embellishment clusters. My next step is to go ahead and cut out one of the little cards from the, I don't know how big these cards are, but I'm sure that there is an identical piece of paper in the 12 by 12, and of course they've just scaled them down to fit on the smaller cardstock, and so I'm going to use that for journaling. It is another floral piece, but it was the one that I felt would work the best. My goal is to really try to use up as much of the product as I can that I pulled out to play with. And so my next step is I'm just going to start building another embellishment cluster over here by my title and journal block. I put in a couple of flowers over by the first letter of my title, And I know my title is crooked right now, and I will fix that when I pause to glue everything down. I'm just kind of getting an idea of where I want things placed and what I want to see on the layout. I'm adding some leaves and some butterflies, and I think that's about all I do here before I pause and start gluing things down. All right, I got this layout completely done. I'm really pleased with how it turned out. You can barely see the mistake that I made with the photo. I need to pay much closer attention to what I was doing when I was first recording this video, but I'm very happy with the way that it turned out. I got lots of layering on here from the embellishments, and I used quite a bit of foam adhesive for that. I did do some stitching off camera, and I did go ahead and pull 3 of the phrases from the sticker sheet to put on there with my journaling, and that is the end. I am so pleased that you are here today with me, and I want to thank you for helping me to grow this channel. Without your comments and likes and subscriptions, I can't do this. And I would really love it if you are new to my channel, if you would go ahead and click that like button and subscribe to me. I do put out 2 to 3 videos per week, sometimes more, depending on how things are going in my life. This isn't a job to me, this is my hobby, and I do want to make sure that I put people and relationships first. So if you have any comments about this layout or anything that I have done below, go ahead and drop them below, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Also, check out the list of creators down below. I think there will be some Instagram creators as well as YouTube creators. Make sure that you check everybody's videos and Instagram channels out to see what everybody does with their mini paper pads. Thank you again for being here, and you guys have a great rest of your weekend. Bye.